Better World Blueprint. Good humans doing good things.
Hello. How are you feeling today? Do you need a bit of inspiration or maybe some hope to propel you through the day? If so, you've come to the right place. A Better World Blueprint is all about good people doing good things. Because sometimes it can feel like we're all heading to hell in a handbasket. But here you'll find folk who will restore your faith in humanity. I'm Siobhan Hunt. Welcome to A Better World Blueprint. Toni Lukic used to have a career where financial profit was the measure of success. Now, she cultivates a more human kind of capital. As manager of the Blacktown Youth Services Association, or BYSA, Toni spends her days teaching young people skills and helping them feel safe and connected. I hope you enjoy this chat with Toni Lukic, manager of the Blacktown Youth Services Association. Hello, Toni, and welcome to A Better World Blueprint.
Hi, Siobhan. Thank you for having me here.
It's lovely to have you on the show. Was there a moment where you just realised this is the kind of work that I need to be doing? I want to be helping young people. I want to work in this space. Did you have an aha moment?
I think there wasn't an aha moment, but what I did have, I just went through menial jobs, I was working in finance, accounts, and it was just so unsatisfying and just all about the bottom dollar, all about profit. And there's nothing fulfilling about that. And I fell into not-for-profit. I was working for this organisation called College of Nursing, and it was a not-for-profit. What it did was educate nurses in further education in cardiac or whatever area they chose. And it was just so satisfying, assisting people and helping them. And I thought, this is it. And I found out that it's not so much about the organisation, it's about the people you work with. So I just thought, no, not-for-profits for me. So when I left there, I went through a few other not-for-profits, and then I stumbled into BYSA and I went, this is it, helping young people. And it's not even just about the young people, it's about the community and creating a community where the young people can feel safe and engaged.
I think you've just answered my second question, but the next follow-up question to that is, when you decided that's what you wanted to do, which was working in non-profit, what did you do next? So you found working in different organisations within the sector, because there are so many different things you can do in the non-for-profit sector. You found that trying out those different spaces helped you find this particular spot, that this was a spot for you. Was there anything in that process that kind of led you to BYSA, or was it just you applied and found once you got there that was where you belonged?
I think you have to have a passion in the organisation you work for. So I've worked in membership organisations. I've worked, as I said, with the nurses. I've worked in different membership ones there was actually. But with BYSA, when I seen the need of the community and the young people and the stories that they have, that's when it sort of dawned on me, this is where I can make an impact. This creates purpose for me.
One thing that comes up for me, and this is just from my own experience, teenagers aren't always the easiest to work with. It's a hugely challenging time of life. All the things are happening, even if you don't take into their backgrounds and what challenges they might be facing at home or at school. Was that ever challenging, working with teenagers? Was there a stumble along the way?
Absolutely. You see some of the decisions that young people can make in their life and you think, oh, how can you make those choices for yourself? And then you realise the stories behind them, and that quickly snaps you into reality where a lot of these young people are homeless. There's addiction issues. It's different sorts of abuse in their life. And the stories are so horrific. You think, well, why wouldn't you make those choices? Why wouldn't you do that? And how do you get a 14-year-old homeless kid How does that happen? And it does. It really does. And you just have to do what you can to provide support and resources for the young people to find their way. And I think that's important.
Nonprofits often operate on the smell of an oily rag, and I know how much donations mean to you. Is that a challenge, trying to meet the need with the few resources that you have?
Absolutely. That's a challenge every single day. We're unfunded at the moment, and we're looking for funding, although a lot of the organisations out there target the organisations they want to fund, so it won't be a competitive grant. It'll be just, targeted at certain, groups and say, well, you guys can apply, and that excludes BYSA, Blacktown Youth. We don't get to apply. DCJ have limited resources. We've approached them many times and say, can you just help us out? It's a great cause. You can imagine what it costs for generational families, unemployed families. And we're starting to intervene and break the cycle of unemployment and break the cycle of addiction. And it's just such a great way of funding BYSA to break that cycle.
And that must be frustrating, knowing the impact it can make and how challenging it is to get the resources. Given that this is what you deal with on a day-to-day basis, how do you manage your own mental health and how you survive with those conditions?
How do I survive? How do I manage it? Well, I love to bicycle ride. So me and my partner go on bicycle rides on the weekends. I immerse myself in nature. We go for walks. I love to garden. So just spending time outdoors and just away from all the traumas that I've heard. Just spending time in nature is what really does it for me. That rejuvenates me.
Do you think this work has changed you, working in the not-for-profit sector?
100%. I'm like I said, when you work for a for-profit organisation, you're working towards profit. You're working towards improve someone's bottom line, increase their bank revenue, increase profits. But when you work for not-for-profit, you're working towards improving someone's life, feeding them, housing them, and it's made me more appreciative of what I have, my life, my surroundings, providing the opportunities for young people, for community members, and just working harder to achieve a better space for Blacktown, safer spaces for young people. That's how it really has changed me.
Have you been able to see the impact of your work?
Oh, yeah. We've had a lot of people come through BYSA, and at any time we can have up to about 20 to 30 people on a day, which is hard seeing there's only 3 of us here at the moment, 3.5, we've got a casual as well. But there was a group that came through, and addiction issues, homelessness, crime, high rates of crime amongst them. And it just took one person to break the cycle. And we provided a safe space for these young people. We provide referrals, so if they're homeless, we can help house them. And it just took one of the young people to break the cycle and influence the rest of them. So out of this group who experienced homelessness, alcohol and drug abuse, and it just took one person to break the cycle and influence the rest of them. So we've coined the term peer elevation. So once you break that cycle, the influence of the peers, rather being a negative one, is a positive one. So now they're engaged in school, they're engaged in employment, they're housed, they're paying for their own rent. And there was an occasion where we've seen them out in the community, out having dinner with his work colleagues. And he come up to us and he was in tears and he said, "Thank you guys. Without you guys, I don't know where I'd be." So that's the reward. it's great to have money, but that's the reward you want from the cohort that come here, is to see them do well.
That's incredible, and your work is incredible. Toni, thank you so much for speaking with me today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Toni Lukic, manager of the Blacktown Youth Services Association, and BYSA are always looking for funding support. So to help Toni keep doing her incredible work, check out the links in the episode notes. I'm Siobhan Hunt. See you on the next episode of A Better World Blueprint.